Welcome everyone for this VLSI design lecture series. In today's video, we will be discussing about a brief history of MOS transistors. The first integrated circuit was a flip-flop with just two transistors, which was built by Jack Kilby at TI, Texas Instrumentation, in the year 1958. In the year 2008, Intel's microprocessor contained more than 2 billion transistors, and the 16 GB flash memory contained more than 4 billion transistors. So if you just have a look at the number of transistors count, it was drastically increased from 1958 up till 2008. Just in the range of 50 years, there was a steady growth rate of around 53%. So this incredible growth had come from steady miniaturization of transistors and improvements in manufacturing processes. As a transistor becomes smaller and smaller, they also become faster, as well as they dissipate less amount of power, and they are cheaper to manufacture. Transistors are normally electrically controlled switches with the control terminal and two other terminals that are connected or disconnected depending on the voltage or current applied to the control. Early integrated circuits mainly used BJTs, bipolar junction transistors, which required a small current into the control base or control terminal called as base terminal to switch much larger currents between the other two terminals, which were emitter terminal and collector terminal. So based upon the amount of current which was given to the base terminal, there was flow of current from emitter to collector. The major problem which was seen with BJTs were the power dissipated by the base current, which limited the maximum number of transistors that can be integrated onto a single silicon wafer. So as I told you, the major disadvantage of using bipolar junction transistors were power dissipation. It was dissipating more amount of power. In order to overcome this drawback, in 1960, metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor, which is commonly called as MOSFET, was introduced. The major advantage which was seen in MOSFET was they draw almost zero control current when it is in idle state, and the power dissipation was drastically reduced in MOSFET when compared to its competitor BJT. Normally, MOSFET is available in two forms: N-channel MOSFET and P-channel MOSFET. In simple terms, we call it as NMOS and PMOS, which uses N-type and P-type silicon respectively. In the year 1963, the first logic gate using MOSFETs was introduced, which included both NMOS transistor as well as PMOS transistor. Because it included both NMOS transistor and PMOS transistor, which was infused to form a logic gate, it was given with a new name called as CMOS, whose full form is complementary metal oxide semiconductor. The circuits used discrete transistors but consumed only nanowatts of power, which was about 6 times lesser than bipolar junction transistors. So because of this advantage, which was seen in terms of power, MOSFETs were being used widely. In the year 1965, a scientist called as Gordon Moore observed that plotting the number of transistors that can be most economically manufactured on a chip gave a straight line on a semi-logarithmic scale. And also he predicted that the transistor count was getting doubled for every 18 months. This observation is normally called as Moore's law. So if we observe this particular graph, along x-axis, if we observe there are number of years, and along y-axis we have considered the number of transistor counts. As the time progressed, the transistor count kept on increasing in a linear way. This was proposed previously by a scientist called as Gordon Moore, and we normally call it as Moore's law. Now let us focus upon the different levels of integration. The process of integration can be classified under four major classifications: small, medium, large, and very large. So the small scale integration, the number of devices on chip, or the number of transistors which are present on the chip, can range between 2 to 50. For example, we can give our normal basic gates which we use as example. When it comes to medium scale integration, the number of transistors on chip ranges between 50 to 5,000. As an example, we can say a counter can be given as example for medium scale integration. Integrated circuit called as counter can be given as an example for medium scale integration. There's one more kind of integration called as large scale integration, where the number of transistor count or the number of devices on chip may range between 5,000 to 1 lakh. Example, normal microcontrollers, microprocessors, 4-bit microprocessors, microcontrollers, those can be given as example. Our focus or our area of interest is very large scale integration. The number of devices on chip in very large scale integration will be more than 1 lakh. Examples are all the processors which we are using these days. Apart from this, VLSI, there are two more classifications of integration, which is called as SLSI, super large scale integration, and ULSI, ultra large scale integration. But our area of interest is only on VLSI. Thank you.